Good day, Philippines. Hello, Region 1. Aloha, San Carlinian learners. Airing live from the mango bamboo capital of the Philippines, San Carlos City. You're tuning in to CCN Broadcast Center, a virtual home of every SDO-SEC learner, where passion is the key. Learning paves the way. With our division mantra, developing creativity, maximizing versatility. This is your CCN Broadcast Center. CCN Broadcast Center, a virtual home of every SDO-SEC learner.
Okay, good afternoon, senior high students. I am Carina Mae F. Pidlaoan of Cobol National High School. So I will be your teacher this afternoon. Again, welcome to Philippine Politics and Governance. Alright, so before we start, let me check how far you learned our previous lesson. Okay, so for me to do that, let's have an activity. Okay, so for this activity, you have to unscramble the letters to identify the concepts being described. You will be given 5 seconds for you to think about the answer. Okay, are you ready? Alright, so let's have the first one. It is an organized political community acting under a government and united common set of laws. So 5 seconds starts now. Alright, so the answer is a state. Did you get the correct answer? Very good. So let's proceed to the next one. It is a form of business operation that declares the business as a separate entity guided by a group of officers known as the Board of Directors. So again, 5 seconds starts now. Okay, so the answer is corporation. Okay, so did you get the correct answer? Very good. So next, it refers to the governing body of the state or nation. Another 5 seconds for you to answer. Alright, so the answer is government. Okay, next. It is a financial institution licensed to provide several financial services to different types of customers. So another 5 seconds for you. Alright, so the answer is banks. Okay, so I think this is the last one. Yeah. Businesses governed on the principle of one member, one vote. So what do you think is the answer? So 5 seconds. There. Alright, so the answer is cooperatives. So again, did you get all the correct answers? If yes, well done. Alright, so this time, I believe you are all ready, okay, for our next lesson. But before that, let's play a game, okay? So in this game, I know this is already familiar to you, right? So yeah, in this game, you'll be shown 4 photos in a grid, all of which share a word in common. Your goal is to figure out the common word based on word length, which is provided to you, and a selection of possible letters. So are you ready? Alright. So let's have the first one. Again, you will be given 5 seconds for you to answer this activity. Okay? There. So 5 seconds. Alright. So if your answer is politics, then that is correct. Okay. So let's proceed with the second one. Another 5 seconds for you to answer. Alright. Okay, so what is the answer here? Alright, so we have government. Again, if your answer is government, okay, so that is correct. So let's have the last one. Okay, another 5 seconds. Alright, so what do you think is the answer? Okay, so the answer is governance. Okay, so take note with these words, class, for it has something to do with our lesson later on. Okay, so again, if you got the correct answers, good job. Right? So this time, okay, based on our activity a while ago, we have identified the words politics, government, and governance. Alright? So, for these words, okay, how do you describe these words? What do you think is the relationship among politics, government, and governance? How important good governance is in a certain nation? Okay? So, these questions, right? So, we will answer these questions as we go on or as we go through with our lesson. So, are you ready? So, now, let's discuss the concept, relationship, and importance of politics, government, and governance. Alright. So, but before we start, okay, so we have here the most essential learning competency wherein you are expected to explain the concept, relationship, and importance of politics, government, and governance. Specifically, you will be able to define politics, government, and governance. Know the importance of good governance and make a Venn diagram that will show the relationship of politics, government, and governance. Alright, so are you ready, class? Okay, so let's start. So let's have now the politics. So what comes into your mind when you hear the word politics? Okay, some of you would say it talks about the politicians, okay, it's all about the government, elections, and so on. Okay, so let's see. When we say politics, in Greek it means affairs of the cities. Okay, so when we say affairs, it has something to do with activities. So therefore, when we say politics, it has something to do with the activities of the cities. Alright. Now, according to Joyce Mitchell in her book, Political Analysis and Public Policy, politics is the collective decision-making or policy-making common to the whole society. So you have to take note with that, class, okay? Yes. So according to Haywood, the study of politics is in the essence to study government, or more broadly, to study the exercise of authority. Politics is the art of the government, the exercise of control within the society through the making and enforcement of collective decisions. So therefore, based on those definitions, we can say that politics is inside the government. Okay? So it is a vehicle that runs the government. Alright. So let's have now the characteristics of politics. Number one, you have there, politics always involves the making of collective decisions for a group of people. Okay? Those decisions are made by some members of the group exercising power over the other members of the group. So these characteristics are present in any government or society. Alright? So, in studying politics, there are two approaches. So, we have the political philosophy and the political science. When we say political philosophy, it is the traditional approach in which the primary goal is to understand the essence or the truth about politics. When we say political science, it is the empirical or objective approach in which it places little emphasis on abstract and nominative question and concentrates on dispassionate and objective of the realities of politics. Alright, so let's have now the difference of politics and political science. So in politics, it is concerned with the state affairs of the country, while in political science, it focuses on the theoretical analysis of politics and governance. Right? So for the actors in politics, so it includes the politicians, the lobbyists. So when we say lobbyists, these are a group of people or person, okay, who makes a impact on the legislation. All right. So again, for the actors in politics, we have politicians, the lobbyists, and administrators. While in the political science, okay, so it includes the political scientists, scholars, and academicians. Right? For the aims, okay, in politics, it aims at improving the welfare and conditions of all citizens and at promoting and implementing constructive policies. While in political science, it aims at understanding different political paradigms and at providing a comprehensive theoretical framework that may explain reality. Alright? So those are the difference of politics and political science. Alright, so now let's have the similarities of politics and political science. So the government and the structure of the country's political system are the main subjects concerned. And for the second one, politics and policies are often based on theoretical ideas. So you have to take note with that. Theoretical ideas and assumptions outlined and analyzed by political science. Alright? Another is, actions taken by politicians can be linked back to theories and theoretical paradigms inferred by analysis of years of politics. So these are the similarities of politics and political science. Alright, so we are done now with politics. So let's proceed now with government and governance. Maybe some of you would also say that when we say government, it is just the same with the governance. But as we go through with our discussion, okay, let's see whether, yeah, maybe it could be, but let's see it, okay? So there. Oftentimes, the word government and governance are interchangeably used, both denoting the exercise of authority in an organization or state. Okay? So when we say government, it is the name given to entity exercising that authority. Since the government doesn't only decide for all and the civil society, and the private sectors play vital role in the community, thus the conception of the word governance. In addition, or on the other hand, rather, governance is a broader concept. In its widest sense, it refers to the various ways in which the social life is coordinated. So we have to take note, it refers to the various ways in which the social life is coordinated. So when we say governance, it could be everywhere. Okay? It doesn't only mean that it talks about the, we are talking about the government. But basically, in every aspects of life, there could be governance. For example, in school, okay, in business companies, and others. Alright? Government can therefore be seen as one of the institutions in governance. It is possible to have governance without government. Alright? So government is the exercise of control or authority over a group of people. Administration or management of an organization, business, or institution. So in governance, so it comes from the Greek word kubernan, which means to steer. So based on its etymology, governance refers to the manner of steering or governing or of directing and controlling a group of people. Okay? So that is governance. Let's have now the difference between government and governance. Alright? So in government, it is a group of people who rule or run the administration of a country. Alright? While in governance, it is the act, okay, of governing or ruling. So in government, So in government, it may be of different types. It may be autocracy or democracy. But here, we are taking into consideration the democratic one in relation to government. Alright? And another is, at some point, government may be labeled as good or bad. Alright? So, but according to, it depends on the way of working. Okay? Way of working of the government for the people. Alright? If a government provides capable governance, then it has a chance of coming back into power again. Alright? So that is in government. And also, governance is a concept that can be followed in an organization of any size, be it a single cell or an organism. Alright? So, the concept of government is in the concept of governance. So, when we say good government, it implies accountability, transparency, participation, openness, and the rule of law. While in good governance, it is expected to be participatory, transparent, accountable, effective, equitable, and promotes the rule of law. So that's what good governance is. Alright? Question. Why is good governance important? What will the nation benefit from it? Okay? So we have here the fundamental reasons why organizations should adopt good governance practices, which include, number 1, to preserve and strengthen stakeholder confidence. Meaning, okay, if there is a good governance, the stakeholders have the confidence to support the organization. Thus, it results to sustainability of organization and achieve success. Let's take for instance, So you, senior high school students, imagine, or maybe most of you are a member of a school organization, right? And you observe that your president, if you're in an organization, you have a president. And if you are in a certain group, then you have a leader, right? So, with that, if you observe that your leader is doing good or doing his function well, okay, as your leader in your organization, meaning, for you as a member, you are confident enough, okay, or you will voluntarily show your support to your leader or to your president. Alright? So that is the importance of good governance. Okay, to preserve and strengthen stakeholder confidence. And also, when we say confidence, it has something to do with the trust. Okay, and we all know that trust is really important, especially in this if in an organization. All right. So there. So let's have now the second fundamental reason. So we have to provide the foundation for a high-performing organization. So in here, okay, the best practices of having a good governance contributes to achieving the goal of the organization. So it set a higher level of performance that develop a strong foundation of the organization. So going back to my example a while ago, you are a member of a group, and then of course there is a good governance. It is evident that there is a good governance being implemented by your leader or president. Then you as a member, okay, how are you going to support? Of course, you will also perform, okay, in a quality manner, right? So it's just like you will give your best to perform also your function or duty. Alright? So that is number 2. Next, we have to ensure the organization is well placed to respond to a changing external environment. So in here, the process of understanding our changing world requires leadership. So take note, it requires leadership, commitment, and resources from the governing body that establish and maintain a system within an organization, and the governing bodies as the ultimate leaders of organization. Okay? So these leaders of organization should take prime responsibility. Okay? So these are the fundamental reasons why organizations should adopt good governance practice. Alright, so let's move on to, good governance is good politics. Right? So putting the citizen first is the guiding principle of good governance. Okay? So it is the ideology that brings the stakeholders, the government, and the citizens closer to each other. Right? So good governance is the key to a country's prosperity and progress. Okay? So for this to happen, it is important that citizens, okay, should have an active participation to governance. Alright? So I think this ends our discussion. Okay? So, but before we say goodbye, of course, senior high school students, let's have first an activity. Alright? So are you ready? Alright. So in here, you have to analyze each picture whether it portrays good governance or not. Chat in the comment box the smiley emoji if it portrays good governance, and sad emoji if it's not. Alright? So are you ready? Okay. So for the first picture, you have 10 seconds, okay, to analyze the picture. Alright. So, oops, sorry. So 10 seconds, I think it's not working, but then, okay, 10 seconds starts now. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Alright, so picture 1 portrays, okay, good governance. Why? Alright, so based on the picture, as you can see, okay, there is a person who is standing in front, and of course, the members are raising their hands. So it portrays good governance in the sense that they show participation. And as we go, go back with our discussion a while ago, one of the characteristics of good governance is participation. Okay, so there. Next picture. So again, you have 10 seconds to analyze the picture. Okay, so 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Alright, so what do you think is the answer here? Does it portray a good governance or not? So basically, yes. It does not portray good governance. Why? Basically, based on the picture, you see those, as you can see, there is a corrupt official and others. So, as we all know, when we say corruption, it is not a good practice. So, that's why it does not portray good governance. Alright, so let's proceed now with the third picture. Okay, so again, you have 10 seconds to answer. Okay, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, so what is the answer? Alright, so we have a smiley emoji. So meaning, this portrays a good governance. Why? Again, based on the picture, as you can see, each member of that community, okay, are doing their best, okay, for the betterment of their community. Yes. Okay, so there. Now, to sum up our discussion, okay, let us answer the questions that we have posted a while back. So, number 1, how do you describe the words politics, government, and governance? So, politics are concepts that establish a nation. It has a vital role in the interaction of the citizen in the community. While government, it refers to the administration or management of an organization, business, or institution. And when we say governance, it refers to the manner of steering or governing or of directing and controlling a group of people or state. Alright? For the second question, what do you think is the relationship among politics, government, and governance? So these words are related to each other as they become the main component on how the society adheres on the activity with disagreement and collaboration. Okay? And then for the third one, how important good governance is in a certain nation. So it says there, good governance is important in a certain nation because surely greatness can be achieved when good governance principles and practices are applied throughout the nation, and that's why good governance is important. Alright? So politics, government, and governance are connected. One will not be complete without the other. Alright? So as what Aristotle said, man by nature is a political animal, meaning engage with the activities to perform his role in the society. Alright? So I think that ends our discussion. So this time, let's have a quiz. Right? So choose the letter of the correct answer. So let's have the first item. Which of the following is concerned with the state affairs of the country? A. Governance. B. Government. C. Politics. D. Sovereignty. Alright? So what do you think is the answer? Okay, so we have politics. Alright, did you get the correct answer? Alright, so let's proceed now with number 2. Which of the following refers to a group of people who rule or run the administration of a country? A. Governance. B. Government. C. Politics. D. Sovereignty. So what do you think is the answer? Right? So the answer is government. Right? Again, did you get the correct answer? Very good. So we have number 3. Which of the following refers to the collective decision-making or policy-making common to the whole society? So again, we have governance, government, politics, or sovereignty. Okay, so for your answer, we have politics. Okay, so let's have number 4. Which of the following refers to the exercise of control within the society through the making and enforcement of collective decisions? So again, what do you think is the answer? Governance, government, politics, or sovereignty? So the answer is politics. So let's have the last one. Which of the following refers to a concept that can be followed in an organization of any size, be it in a single cell or an organism or all of humanity? So for the choices, again, we have governance, government, politics, and sovereignty. So the answer is governance. So did you get all the correct answers? Alright, if yes, that is bravo. If not, then it's okay. Okay, you need to be more attentive next time. Alright, so for your assignment, in one whole sheet of paper, you have to answer the following. So number 1, make a Venn diagram that will show relationship of politics, government, and governance. And for the second one, in your own opinion, what is a good governance? So we have here the rubric for the Venn diagram and the rubric for the essay. Don't worry because this presentation and the copy of rubrics will be posted in a Google Drive, and the link will be sent to you in our group chat. Alright? And for your assignment, how to submit, you may scan this code for you to be directed on the Google Drive, and there you have to upload it there. But for those who do not have internet connection, okay, you may submit your assignments during the schedule of our module distribution and retrieval. So don't worry with that. Alright? So there. Again, for the copy of this presentation and for the rubrics for your assignment, you may click on this link. Alright? So we have here the words from late Senator Miriam Defensor Santiago. Okay, be critical, vocal, and involved in the political process. We are a democratic country, and it is our duty to keep our government in check. Alright, senior high school students, you are part of the government. You have a duty and responsibility to our country. So, since May 2022 election is fast approaching, make sure that you have already registered to vote. Right? And of course, you have to responsibly exercise your right to suffrage. Okay? So, vote wisely. Alright? So, with that, thank you once again. I am Carina Mae F. Pidlaoan of Cubao National High School, your teacher in the Philippine Politics and Governance. Thank you and God bless.
Good day, Philippines. Hello, Region 1. Aloha, San Carlinian learners. Airing live from the Mango Bamboo capital of the Philippines, San Carlos City. You're tuning into CCN Broadcast Center, a virtual home of every SDO-SEC learner, where passion is the key. Learning paves the way. With our division mantra, developing creativity, maximizing versatility. This is your CCN Broadcast Center. CCN Broadcast Center, a virtual home of every SDO-SEC learner.